As I come up on the next gentleman to be inducted, I have one apology to make. On the program, I did not proof it, and Rick's name was left off, Rick Rudman, and I apologize, Rick.
It's okay, Stan.
I'm sorry. Hopefully that's one of the few mistakes that I made, but I do apologize. Rick's name was left off the program, and I feel bad about it. I'm sorry. So I won't do you next. Next we'll do your brother, graduating in 1967.
That's
Well, they put it down 77?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're a lot younger than I thought. Another thing I missed in proofreading, Ed Brunman did graduate in 1967. Ed was a teammate of Gary Parise. As I stated before, their team won 2 league championships and felt defeat only a couple of times. Ed played offensive and defensive end, and was named team co-captain his senior year and was selected a first-team Tri-Valley All-Star. Ed went on to play 2 years at split end for the Ithaca Bombers. Now going back to that West Canada game I talked about earlier, Ed had his heroics in that game as well. During the second quarter, an 83-yard drive, which took 11 plays, had Ed receiving a 35-yard bomb for the touchdown to put Dolgeville in the lead, 7-0. Ed reminded me of another guy. Excuse me, I interjected there. The 7-0 lead with only 7 seconds remaining before the half. My writing is terrible. Ed reminded me of another guy who played both offense and defensive end, Paul Nagel. Both of these guys were great blockers and excellent at covering the outside with vicious tackling, and I mean vicious. Anybody that was hit by either Nagel or Ed Rudman, they didn't want to play next week. I'm sure Ed will have a few things to share with us about his playing years that might not have been in the newspapers, and again, very limited write-ups, and I wish there was more to say about what I always believed was one of our best players of the 60s. Ladies and gentlemen, Ed Rudman.
Thanks, Stan. Just to give you an idea of how old I really am, my senior year was Coach Walczak's first year in Dolgeville, and that should give you an idea how old I am.
That's not funny.
Coach Walczak must have really needed that job that year, because not only was he assistant coach minded in football, he also took on jobs of head varsity basketball and head varsity baseball. And like I said, you must really need a job to take all that on. And
Hey, Ed,
yeah,
I got paid nothing for all 3 sports.
there's several things I could say to that I won't. So I had Coach Walczak for basketball and baseball also. He probably won't remember this, but he taught me a pitch that was down on the tennis courts because it was snow all over the place in the spring. And it was kind of like a knuckleball drop, but as he taught it to me, it became a very effective pitch for me. As a matter of fact, I can still throw it today. The only problem is I can't reach home plate with it. I believe that Gary Parise and I are the 3rd and 4th members of our class to be inducted into this, what I'm going to call a prestigious group. And the other 2 were Matt Haybrick and Dominic Milazzo. And one thing I can say about those 3 teammates of mine is that whenever we finished the game, you knew that they had nothing left to give, nothing left. Everything they did, they left on the field. There was no more effort involved because it was just all used up. And I'm really proud to have played with those guys. The amazing thing about this is that when you look at that plaque outside with all the names on it, the number of really good players that aren't on there. I understand that you can't put everybody in all at the same time, but the one great thing about Dolgeville, I think, is tradition. People here expect to win. That wasn't always my experiences. As I left college, I coached football in Canada. I was 21 when I started there, and having taken my Dolgeville experiences with me, of course, I was ready to turn Canada into a Dolgeville. And it didn't take me long to find out that that was not going to be an easy chore, and actually was one that never came about. I wasn't used to being in a place where I had to talk kids into playing. That didn't happen in Dolgeville. Everybody was expected to play. In Canada, I literally had to talk some of the better athletes into playing. And what I found out was when you have to talk a kid into playing, you're not going to get near out of him as if he wants to do this himself. I also found out that in my youthful exuberance that I was not a Bill Biden and that I was not a Jerry Walzak. And I kind of knew that going in. One other thing I'm really very proud of is that my brother is here with me today. And I have to say, of all the friends that I've had in this world, that he is truly my best friend, and I'm proud of him and proud to be here with him today. Dolgeville's a unique place. I think that many of the things, as Gary said, that we take from Dolgeville with us into life lends itself toward nothing but positive experiences in terms of the hard work, dedication, and all those other attributes that you can attribute to football in Dolgeville. I'd like to thank Stan and the committee for not just electing me, but even for considering me. I consider that to be quite an honor. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ed. I didn't know you liked your brother that much. That's good.